Today I'm going to show you 3 different household items you can use to start your seedlings. The first item is a spinach container. This item can be used 3 different ways. The second item is either a 2-liter bottle or a water bottle. They can both be used in the same way. And the third item is an egg carton. I prefer plastic for this way of using it, but it has 2 different ways. The first item is the spinach container. It can be used 3 different ways. The first way you can use it is as a greenhouse. I have a rosemary plant and some small pepper plants. I'm going to place these small pepper plants inside of the spinach container and then close the lid. This creates a greenhouse. The greenhouse keeps the plants warmer when it is in colder temperature. The second way you can do this, or you can use the spinach container, is by taking the lid off and flipping it over. So you can use this spinach. I've cut off the top of it and I have drilled holes in the bottom of it in order to let some more air in to keep the plants alive. So you can just place the plants here and place it on top, and it will work the same way as by putting it with the lid. The third way is by using it as a self-watering system. So I'm going to use the one that doesn't have holes in it so the water doesn't leak out. So you can take the plants and put them into the spinach container, and you can pour water into the spinach container, and there are holes in the bottom of these plants allowing the water to soak up into the pots, keeping the plants watered for a longer period of time. The second item is the water bottle. I'm going to show you the 2 ways you can use this item. In this section I will be using a Sharpie, some scissors, a safety pin, along with a knife. And I will be using this rosemary plant to demonstrate. So I will take the Sharpie to draw a line so I can get a neat cut, and I'm going to draw a line around in a circle. Not the perfect drawer, so just going to be a little line. Alright, so you can see there's a line in a circle around the circumference of the water bottle. And now I'm going to take this knife and I'm going to put the water bottle down on the table, and just being safe, keep your hands away from the water bottle, push down with the knife and make a hole in the water bottle, and then fold the knife up so you can be safe. And then I'm going to use these scissors and put the scissors into the hole and cut around the edge to make it easier to cut. So now we have 2 different sections that can be used for 2 different purposes. This one can be used as a greenhouse, but the first thing we need to do to make it able to be used as a greenhouse is I'm going to use this safety pin, and I'm going to use the safety pin to poke holes in this lid so that the lid, there can be airflow. Just poke 4 holes, that should be enough. And then you can place it over top of your plant, and it should give it a greenhouse effect. Of course, this plant is kind of too big for it right now, so as you can see, it can be used very nicely on top of this pepper plant. The other half of the water bottle can be used the same way, or you can use the safety pin to poke holes in the bottom and use it as a pot as well. And it can be used as a small pot. The third and final item is a plastic egg carton, and this can be used as a greenhouse like this, and it can be also used as a self-watering system. And in this section I'm going to show you how to plant some cilantro, basil, and parsley. So the first thing you have to do is I'm going to take this safety pin right here, and I am going to poke a hole in the bottom of each of these sections. So there's 12, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And now I'm going to fill this with soil. So I just got some potting soil that I'm going to put into this and fill up each little section with soil. Alright, so now that each of these little egg carton container areas is full of soil, the first thing I like to do in order to get them so that they're not too deep but deep enough that they will sprout is take 2 fingers, since there's 12, and just make a little indentation with your fingers in each of the little sections. So since I have 12 and 3 different things, I'm going to plant 4 of each. So the first thing is some cilantro. I just put 1 in each little section, and then put them back into the container. Cilantro is great for Mexican and all sorts of things like that. And basil, everyone likes basil. Basil is can be used in pesto, and there's different varieties. This is some Italian Genovese basil, which is a large leaf green basil. Now I'll put the seed back in by opening up the container, which is kind of difficult with one hand, and then pouring the seed back in. And then some parsley, which looks a lot like cilantro, but it's definitely different. We like to grow it because there's some butterflies called some swallowtails that like it, and we like to raise the caterpillars. And now put the seed back in, and the ways you can use this, as you can see, I am going to put lightly push the soil back over each of the seeds so that they're slightly buried and not too deep. And then you can either do it like this and have them in a little bit of a greenhouse, or you can take some water and pour it into the top and set the plants in here.